We are about to head to rookie minicamp. 2 days. We only get 2 days. They get 3 days. We only get to watch 2 of them. Plenty of names out there, obviously highlighted by Phil Jurkovec. I'm pumped, dude. Like, when you don't understand that when I was walking in, so I was telling Nick this yesterday. I was walking in, going to get an outfit, going golfing for the bachelor party next weekend, and I look at my phone the second I walk into Dick's, and I was like, oh crap, okay. And I ran back out to the truck. I wrote some articles, and I was just like walking through Dick's, and my head the whole time is just going, dude, Phil Jurkovec's coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, that's a name right there. That's a guy that if you eliminated his final year at Pitt, think about it. If you eliminated his final year at Pitt, everybody's super hyped about that guy. And I don't think he makes the team, but I think I'm more excited for him than maybe anybody else at rookie minicamp. What do you put the chances he gets an invite to OTAs?
5%, I would say.
That's a lot lower. Nick said 16, I think.
16? I want to hear Nick's reasoning. 16%, jeez.
16%.
I forgot they had Michael Pruitt, to be completely honest. So I thought there were less tight ends that he had to pass.
How dare you? How dare you overlook Michael Pruitt?
I couldn't come up with Michael Pruitt's name yesterday at all. I was just like, that dude from Atlanta. So that's better than me. It's better than me. I don't think there's a shot, but I'm just excited, man. If Tim Tebow was in town playing tight end, I'd be pumped. Screw it. Sometimes athletes are just athletes, and I just want to see what happens.
Yeah.
On a real note, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I love the persistence. I think everyone, like, especially Pitt people, like, they were just so sick of Phil Jurkovec. Like, last year was real rough, and people just don't want to hear about him anymore. I don't know. Like, there are worse ways Phil could have gone about, having a rough season and getting benched and everything like that. I appreciate the persistence from him, so I'm excited to see him too.
Do you think what do you think would have got a worse reaction? Okay, Phil Jurkovec or Keaton Slovis?
Ooh, I don't know, because that's the thing. Phil's season last year allows people to look through some pretty rose-colored glasses at Keaton Slovis. Like, yes. I don't think people mind that season nearly as much as they did last year for obvious reasons. So Keaton Slovis, I think he would have been more uncomfortable. Like, I think Pitt fans have moved on a little. People in Pittsburgh have moved on a little bit from Keaton Slovis. Phil Jurkovec is fresh in their mind, and I think people are also a little annoyed that, okay, like, this guy he turned down Pitt twice, not once but twice, during his college career, and then he comes here for 1 year, and it is the worst year of his college career. I don't think that sits well with anyone.
Yeah, no. Oh, no, it can't. I mean, everybody that kid was supposed to be a hometown hero coming back, whippy old star, about to just lead Pitt to the promised land. Didn't happen. Dug him into the ground, actually. So I would agree. I think Phil, I don't know though. I think Keaton made his way to Pittsburgh. I just don't think. I think he'd have to make the roster. If he didn't make the roster, things would get rough. Let's talk about what you want to see. We're about to head over to the South Side. 3 days. We get to watch 2 of them. Plenty of undrafted guys. Plenty of actual rookies. What's top of your list? What are you looking? This is what I want to watch at rookie minicamp.
Yeah, for me, it's the defensive backs, and I'm going to go out on a little bit of a limb here, but I'm pretty sure the Steelers' next starting slot corner is going to be here at rookie minicamp, and there are 2 names in particular that I'm looking at. Obviously, Beanie Bishop. We've talked about that guy a ton. I think he's a stud. I expect him to at least make the roster, and I think he'll be really good. He's kind of my favorite in terms of that, guys who could be that starting slot corner. But I'm also looking at Anthony Averett too. A veteran guy, but getting invited on a rookie minicamp tryout basis. He's a guy who has started before. He started almost a full season for the Ravens and was pretty productive. Had a few picks as well. Like that, it's a guy who can get his hands on the ball. I think bringing a guy in with that kind of NFL experience is pretty interesting. I don't think you bring a guy in like that unless you think he's still got it and can still perform at an NFL level. So I think that there is, and there are a couple other like smaller guys who could maybe surprise you. But I really think when it comes to Bishop or Averett, I think we're going to end up seeing one of those guys starting at slot corner on week 1. And so I want to see what they can bring in rookie minicamp.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I was hoping that and when you said defensive backs, my mind immediately went, "Ooh, I wonder if he's going to talk about Averett here." That's That's a good one. I agree. I think that both of those guys have really good opportunities. I think that Averett's a really big name to watch. Like, I think that he's a sneaky name for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. Could come in here, like you said, has starting experience, has played in the AFC North, and it's starting experience in Baltimore. That means something. You're on a good defense. You've played in a good secondary. I think that holds some ground, and especially in Pittsburgh. Like, you've played the Steelers enough times so that Mike Tomlin knows who you are, knows what you could bring to the field. I'm excited to see what they bring. I agree with that. I think obviously Beanie Bishop is the biggest name you could look for. You impressed or a little disappointed that he went with number 30?
I didn't see that. It's not the best, but I mean, like, you got limited options with the Steelers, man. Like, they're not always great numbers to pick from. I wish he'd gotten something better, but hopefully when he makes the roster and when he becomes a superstar, they help him out a little bit, find a different number for him.
Yeah, true. I guess he couldn't keep it because Jalen is number 30, so you gotta ditch 30. Good. Okay, good. Give him another opportunity to go somewhere else. Yeah,
you
can't have a name like Beanie and be like, yeah, I'm number 30. No, that's boring. Give me 6, 5. 6 stinks too. Give him 5 or 3. I don't know. Give him 0. He should be a 0.
0 would be sweet, actually. I would love 0.
The first Pittsburgh Steeler to ever wear 0, Beanie Bishop. There it is. If he makes the starting lineup, I think that they should at least offer it. That should be his incentive. All right, my what to watch for. I'm going to go other side of the football. I'm going to go with Roman Wilson. I think that's an easy one. I think I'm kind of chickening out here, but I think it's very much so something that you have to keep an eye on. Like, you can't go to rookie minicamp. You can't go through all this. You can't spend half of this show talking about how the Steelers have limited options at wide receiver and then go to rookie minicamp and ignore Roman Wilson. Like, I just think that you have to see what you could get in him. I think that you have to get an early indication of what he could bring to the Pittsburgh Steelers and maybe how good he is, where he's lining up, how fluid he is with some of these quarterbacks. Like, I don't know. I think Roman Wilson's you saw a lot in George Pickens at rookie minicamp. Like, he was immediately impressive. And I think that you could kind of get an understanding of if these guys are immediately impressive. And I would like to see if Roman Wilson is, or if he's a guy where you're like, oh, okay, needs a little bit of work. We'll see what happens. But Roman Wilson's probably my guy to watch.
Yeah, I don't think that's chickening out at all. I mean, it's arguably the most important position of the offseason for the Steelers right now. I mean, they've addressed just about everything else, it seems like. So you need someone to step up at wide receiver. Roman Wilson is the most obvious guy that you would assume could step up and could be a really big addition for the Steelers, because, I mean, if Roman Wilson is good enough to be a number 2, it unlocks a lot of different things for the Steelers. It makes our conversation about, they only have wide receiver 3s. If he can play on the outside, it doesn't really make it an issue that they have a bunch of slot guys. Then you can kind of mix and match and put people in advantageous situations. So he's kind of a linchpin for a lot of important stuff for the Steelers offense this offseason. It's not unreasonable at all to say we need to see good things from him, and we need to see him pretty soon, because that is, whether we like it or not, whether it's fair or not, that's the kind of pressure that's on Roman Wilson right now.
Yeah, I agree. You gonna watch any quarterbacks? Actually, they actually invited an Irish kicker which remember the Australian dude last year that they were inside the whole rookie minicamp. He was like the best punter in the world or something. Like, he won some competition. They invited him to camp. It was all this big thing, and then it rained for 3 days, which it's raining right now. So it looks like they're not going to get opportunities. And I don't think he kicked the ball one time. And I was like, could you imagine getting the invite and then showing up and being like, all right, I just stood around for 3 days, didn't make a roster. Awesome.
Yeah. Travel internationally, travel all the way from Australia, famously very close to Pittsburgh, and then staying around indoors all day. That's got to be pretty nice. That's not going to feel like a waste of time at all.
No. And I think the Irishman who's coming here, he won some world competition or something. They invited him to camp. I think that's going to happen to him as well. So I'm excited to see him. You excited about any quarterbacks?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm excited about John Rice Plumlee. I think Jurkovec's going to end up being a tight end more often than he's
Strike special.
I'm excited. Yeah, that's right. But I'm excited to see Plumlee. I want to see what that arm looks like. I don't know if he'll be able to really show off the kind of athleticism that I think really defines his game, or is kind of the most interesting part of his game. But I want to see him spin it. I think that'll be fun, and he'll be able to work with some interesting receivers too. So I'm definitely going to watch some quarterbacks. again, you're watching him with. I'm watching him more to see like, okay, can this guy give Roman Wilson some nice balls? Can you get him involved? Are we going to be able to see what we want to see from Roman Wilson right now? But I'm excited to see Blumley because I think he has a bunch of potential, and I just want to see that in action.
Yeah, I agree. I got all eyes on the quarterbacks. I think it's going to be fun. Like you said, Phil's going to play tight end, which I'm excited to see Phil play tight end and see what happens. And Williams from Marquez Williams from Pitt.
Yes,
very excited to see him. A couple of local guys. So good times. We'll keep everybody updated. We're headed to the South Side for today and tomorrow. We'll have everything you need from the South Side come Monday, all the takeaways, everything. In the meantime, you can find everything on si.com/NFL/Steelers.